So, hello fellow coin collectors, how you going today? My name is Glenn, and today I am back with another coin video. And today I have some Chinese coins. And these coins would have to be the longest circulated coin design in history. Now, we could say the Maria Teresa Tala is probably the longest circulated. No, not really. It's probably the longest minted European coin, but it's not the longest minted coin ever. That would have to be these ones. These ones are called Wu Shu. So let me see if I can find a good one. Yep. Okay. So here we have two characters on them. On this side we have two characters. On the other side we have nothing. So depending on the period and on design, sometimes you can get something on the other side. Sometimes you can get other letterings depending on the period. But these coins were used for at least 700 years with this design. Of course they would change over that period, like this coin here and this coin here. Obviously you can see differences. This one has a lot thicker rim. It's actually a big coin, so it's probably heavier. And these could either be minted at two different places. One could be government issue, one could be a private issue, and yes, China at certain periods of time allowed the citizens to actually mint their own coins because they're base metal. Like if someone had a mine and could actually get the metal out, then the government will allow them to produce coins. Obviously they would have had to pay somehow, or this could be two different periods in Chinese history. So maybe this one could be an earlier coin, this one could be a later, or maybe the other way around. But the character on here this is the Chinese character for 5, for Wu or in Cantonese, and this is Shu, which is actually a value. 1 Shu is equivalent to half a gram. So in theory, this coin could actually weigh about 2.5 grams. But in reality, depending on the time period, the place it's minted, obviously these two coins weigh differently. And I haven't actually weighed these. Actually, this one's about 2.5 grams and this one's a bit heavier. So it actually, depending on also the metal content as well. Like these ones are probably mainly iron or brass. I'm not too sure. You need to do a metal analysis of these coins. But I'm not going to do that. So obviously these coins have been dug up, and about 10 years ago these coins were all over eBay, but now they're pretty scarce, and maybe the ones you get are fake, but these are pretty legitimate. They haven't actually been cleaned that well, which is alright, I don't mind. So most of them are pretty much this design here, and the thick ones is not that common. So maybe the ones with all this dirt probably come from the same excavation site. Not bad. Now these coins were issued in 118 BC. They replaced the main coin called the Bang Liang, which was actually a coin that initially was supposed to weigh 24 Shu, so at least 10 times these. Oh no, not 10 times, 5 times these. But in reality they weighed about 12 Shu, which is 8 grams at the time. I'm not using the 0.5 grams here. So in 182 BC the Bang Liang weighed 8 Shu, which is a reduction. In 175 it weighs 4 Shu, which actually is smaller than these coins. And they were replaced in 118 with these coins because, well, it just became chaotic. Everyone started minting their own coins because they were allowed to at that time. And the quality and design actually became, well, less control. But the government had to accept 1,000 coins, it doesn't matter what weight they were, as payment for their services. And at this time, China actually developed into a truly cash economy. Now, silver and gold, they didn't really use as coinage. They used that as bullion. And that occurred up until about the 1800s when silver and gold coins were actually imported from... they mainly used Mexican pesos, or 8 reals, but they always chopped. So they stamped them to check their metal quality, and they didn't accept it at face value. They usually accepted it at whatever the silver content was and the weight. But these coins, well, these are pretty much accepted, probably not as individual coins, but as bunches. So that's why they have the hole in them. You can put them together like this. And so I've got a piece of string. So you actually get them like this. You thread string through it if I can. Let's go this way. There you go. And then you tie it up. So they actually would have done a lot more coins than this. They probably would have put like probably at least 100 or something together. And this is how they actually used to spend coins. So, and that's how they also stored coins. So, some prices. Now, I haven't got the dates for this, but these are around about 200. So, millet, probably, this probably a megaliter of millet. So, probably a kilogram of millet costs 75 cash, so you need 75 coins to actually buy that. A hectoliter of rice that's been processed would be 140 cash. So a hectoliter is actually quite a lot of rice. For 1 meal, probably like 1 or 2 cash of rice would have done. And a labourer per month would have got paid 150 cash. So 150 coins per month. If you divide that into probably 35, 40 coins per week. So that will make it out, how much per day? Probably 7 to 8 coins per day. So how much we got here? I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So maybe that's a day's wages. That can actually buy you quite a lot of food. In the History of Han, which is a Chinese history book, they had a production of 220 million coins per year. And these are actually cast coins. They're actually not minted coins like, well, this coin here. Actually, no. Like this rupee from India, from the Mughal Empire. This is actually a punched, a hand stamp coin. Oh, I can't remember. See, when you get older, you get a little bit of Alzheimer's. So this is actually has 2 dies, and it's actually, they use a hammer to hammer the image on. This one, they have a mold. They actually pour molten metal into the mold, and they then take the coins out, and because they're joined together, they have to break them off. So sometimes you can see where the actual coin was in the mold, because they actually have to file it down. But because these coins are so old, it's actually hard to see on these ones, and it's got a lot of stuff on it, so it's a bit hard to see. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see because you've got all this incrustation, and that's what you have to be worried about when you actually get coins. So here, so let's have a look. So just there, just here, looks like that's where the metal was actually joined to the other coins. It actually looked a bit like a leaf. No, you can't really see. And did I tell you how much these weighed? So these weigh about 2.5 grams, in case I can't remember if I told you. One shoe is well, 1 shu is half a gram, so 5 shus is 2.5 grams. But as I said before, the weight depends on a lot of different factors. And there's actually quite a lot of different variations in these coins. There's probably more variations than any other coin because of the 700-year reign. So the only interrupt was used in these coins was when Wang Mang actually ruled China from 7 BC to 23 AD. He actually introduced a lot of monetary reforms. I think about 5, which totally destroyed the economy. It's like a communist type system. Early form of communism, he tried to confiscate everyone's wealth. That's why he issued them. And well, these coins were used, and there's evidence that they were used for about 20 years after he was overthrown. So these are actually still minted. And the Wu Shu, while it was eventually made illegal to use, they would have been used all the way through that period. And these were replaced in the Tang period by a more modern coin that actually... let me get some. Well, I don't have the Tang coin on me. Well, it must be in my coin album somewhere. It was replaced by coins with essentially 4 characters on them. So this one has Tong Bao, and this one is top and bottom is the Emperor's reign. And these are pretty much a standard. These are all different periods, like this is a Vietnam. Later Li, it's about 500 years old. So these are about 2,000 years old, roughly. Between 1,300 and 1,400 and 2,200. So it's a bit hard to tell. Another Later Li. A lot of these I do not have the Emperors. I haven't actually researched. So maybe I should actually try and find them. So those are my Wu Shu coins. I have a few, probably about 20 or 30. And I just think they're awesome. I think these are an exciting area to collect Chinese coins. China reckons they are. As I don't really like to collect Australian coins because I think they're modern coins. Yeah, they're okay, but nah. I like older coins, something with history, something that's awesome. Anyway, I like to say thank you very much for watching my video. I do sell coins on eBay if you'd like to support my channel. And also get something in return. And have an awesome coin collecting time, people. Because collecting coins is awesome. Have a good one. Bye bye.